and welcome back to the Whole Bucket and Defemorember. Today's Defemorember Day is called Forgotten Snacks. Also, today's ephemera that I'm adding, or prompt that I'm adding to the pile, is number 9, which happens to be Italy. So today's cookie is from Italy, and it is called Bacci di Dama. Bacci di Dama. It's called that right there. Fine Belgian chocolate between 2 hazelnut shortbread cookies. Life can't go wrong when you have such a thing. I'm certain that's true. So I'm going to set some cookies off to the side and have some of those cookies. And the box is kind of cool. I might save that box to make something out of. And this pile that was under the cookies is for today's prompt. I only have a partial plan because Forgotten Snacks has been my most difficult one. Before we get started, let me just show you what ended up happening with the friendship bracelet page after it dried and I added some stuff. Whoops, it stuck to my hand. Ta-da! There it is. So there are the boys in the tree kind of far away, and there is, her name is Bronwyn. Darcy from Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media, gave me some background on some raven names, and Bran and Bronwyn were sibling ravens in some legend, and I thought, okay, I've always liked the name Bronwyn, but I never knew that Bronwyn had links to ravens. So her name is official. I don't know about the boys yet. We'll think of them later, I guess. So what I did was I thought, okay, this turned out okay. I was happy with the tree and the background and all that kind of stuff. I was happy with Bronwyn and Effie and the concept of the friendship bracelets, right? Turning into necklaces, because they were, because bird-sized ankles are really little. Or, you know, you can't really put one on a wing. That would be bad. So, I thought, I was happy with some of the stuff, right? And after it dried, I was fairly happy with the drama of this background, because it is a dramatic, magical forest, right? What I wasn't happy with was the sky didn't show up enough, and it was too dark for summertime. So I added some Zentangle flowers and weeds and grass and some shading to make our buddies pop out better. And I added some sky and pulled it down into the coloring. And I put some sky coming through the tree that the boys are in just a little bit. So that's how it ended up. I did notice something here, and that is that this page still has 0 purpose in a junk journal. Like, there's nowhere to write. There's really not a place where you'd want to put a picture, except I suppose you could glue a picture right in here, right? But would you even want to? Maybe. Maybe that wouldn't be that big a deal. Let's see. Would it be a big deal if we just stuck a photo right there? No, not really. Okay, so you could stick a photo there, or a memorabilia of some sort. But, I mean, it doesn't have a pocket, it doesn't have a tuck spot, there's no tag, there's no ephemera, there's no nothing. This just turned out to be an art page, and I liked making it, because I like making art pages, but it doesn't really serve a purpose in a journal. So there you go. Now, today, I have to pull out a puppy pad, because the first thing we're going to do is get a little bit messy with this side of the page, because look what friendship bracelet did to the back side of this thing. Holy man. Holy buckets, man. So, there we go. One puppy pad. One page that needs some cover color. And I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just use what I grabbed first, which happens to be this. I thought I kind of wanted to do the metallic watercolors, but I love them so much they're showing up kind of everywhere, so maybe it's better if I don't. We could try the gelatos thing again, though. Let's try the gelatos. Just because I never really use them and I kind of want to learn how. But all I'm going to do for today, because all I need is a border around this page, is I have something I'm going to glue on most of the page. So I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to do some just blotches like this in colors that I want to have around this page. And then I think we'll just run them together with water and see what happens. Is that supposed to be black? I thought this was purple. It looks purple. It's a very dark purple, whatever it is. All right, and then we need green, 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 because it's a forest. Green, 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 green. Now the trick will be, can I let these colors run without turning into mud? Because I'm sure there are some of you out there going, you really shouldn't put those colors on at the same time. Entirely true. This purple running into this blue and this green will just make mud brown. So I'll try to behave. I'll try to behave since I've already done this. And there's really not any turning back now because this took so long. There's no way I'm starting over. Yeah, see, I got mud. I got mud, people. Way to go, girl. I could muddy things up with the best of them. Well, fancy that. Dark black purple is a dark color. I mean, who'd have guessed that, right? All I'm going to do is just what you see me doing. I'm just going to get it all wet and slosh it around. And then I will see what happens when it dries. I'm kind of thinking I'll just do more than one layer. Okay, that's not as terrible muddy as I thought it might be. I am seeing some stuff turn brown, right? But I'm also seeing some of the colors that I put, even where I'm seeing brown, like up here in this corner, I still see the purple I put down in the first place. So, not terrible. And let's take a quick look at the paper that's going to go down here. I won't set it all the way down because it'll just get yucky, but there's the paper that's going to go on this page. I think those colors are perfect for it. So, I think we'll do more than one layer, but that is it. I'm not doing anything fussy, okay? Just, that's it. I'll do another layer after this has had some time to dry. For now, we're going to set the puppy pad aside because we can work on other pieces while that's drying. So like I said, this is the page that's going to go on that. This is the paper that's going to go on that page of the book, and there's the inside of it. The first thing I want to do to this is round the corners. Yipes. There we go. Okay. And then edge this because I hadn't done it ahead of time. I did some stuff ahead of time. I think I'm just so clever today. Okay, I'm just kidding. No, I don't think I'm so clever. But this particular prompt was my most difficult one. And it took me a really long time to figure out. I had other ideas at first, but then somebody kind of flipped the script on me on this one. And all of a sudden I was thinking about it in a different way. And that helped a lot. It helped a ton. So I'll tell you what that was in just a minute. I'm going to fold this the other way so that I can do a quicker swipe on the inside edge of this paper. And I think not down the center. Although that's going to bug me, isn't it? No, you know what? Because I'm going to put a ribbon down the center. I forgot about that. Okay. In fact, let's do that right now because it will also need time to dry. So, we're going to take this ribbon right here and we're going to put this down the middle on the inside. I should really fold it around the outside, shouldn't I? It should really go right here and glued and then glued around. Yep, that's exactly what it should be. Okay, so rawr, I haven't had my glue out today. I must get my glue out. It's glued shut. Every once in a while it seals itself shut. It's not so bad though. I never ever put the cover on. I don't ever put the cover on my glue. And since I don't ever put the cover on my glue, I'm really lucky that it only seals itself once in a while. Because, I mean, truth be told, it's shocking it doesn't seal up every single day, every single time. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, now we want to pull this ribbon over to the front and have it edge the page like this. And I thought I had flattened this ribbon out, but apparently I have not flattened it out enough. Someday I'm going to get myself a flat iron from the secondhand store, I think, and I'm going to try flattening these ribbons out with that. But right for now I just do it with water and it usually works, but I seem to have failed at it today, so bear with me a little bit. we go. I am going to snip that off with a little extra so that we can make, you know, some fringy stuff. It will need fringy stuff. I need a speck of glue right here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, that hinge is just going to be more, I needed to strengthen the hinge of the paper, right? Because this is just a piece of paper that I printed on. I don't want it falling apart, so. All right, when that's had some time to dry, we'll make some fringy bits. I will put that to the side. Now we have a drying department off to the side. I need to flatten this though. Put it somewhere and it's drying all wonky. All right, let's make sure it's flat instead. There we go. All right, now what's next? This is for a different place in the book. This is because this is the tag that Remy was made on, and I like this background in purple so much that I printed the piece again, and I hope to use it somewhere else in the book because I like to repeat patterns. This is a failed attempt at the paper that I just told you that this paper that we just did, this one, this is another option for that. I like the inside because this repeats a pattern that's elsewhere in the book. I decided that I hated this. I liked it at first. It was lovely at first. And then the more I tried to work with it, the more it just argued with me. So I decided I'm mad at it and I made another one. I made a new one. So this ends up just being extra, and I'm sure it will find a home. The same is true for this. I was making a basket, and I still might make this basket because I'm intrigued by this idea. So this might end up getting done and used for something, but not for this. Here are some words that might fit with what we're doing or go somewhere else, or probably both. And now we're up to today. Forgotten snacks. This might not look like forgotten snacks, but I promise you it is. Somewhere on the page that we just reinforced with ribbon, there's going to be some sort of fairy door. And it might be this one. And it might be this one. And if it's this one, it's going to have this piece too, and this butterfly. I didn't make that any more to that one for layering, which I'm a little bit sad about, but I'm not going to go backward because it's been a very, very long prepping day already for this particular page. Enough is enough already. But whatever door I choose for the outside of this page, here is, if I can grab it all, here is what's going inside. This pile o' stuff is going inside. Good grief, man, what a mess. There we go. This pile of stuff is going inside the page that we just reinforced. Wow, and it's just falling apart into a big mess. I had it so nicely organized. Okay. Also a spare piece. Don't know if we'll use it or not, but there it is. So here's the thing. Effie and Ember went out into the woods on a picnic. Okay, this is one day, and they took Bronwyn with them because she's still at home, right? She needs extra time. So the three of them were out on a picnic. And of all things to happen, a magical door appears and Remy pops out of it. And they're so happy and surprised to see their friend. But how in the world did she know where they were and what was she doing there and blah, 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 right? So Remy says the magical garden is at full ripeness and you guys are invited to come see and pick some of your own fresh fruits and vegetables and take them home with you. So everybody got so excited about this and had never been to Remy's house or Remy's friend's house or garden or anything like this. So the three friends were kind of beside themselves, and they just got up and took off with Remy. Well, they completely left their picnic basket and their blanket behind. They completely left them behind. So some time went by that they were gone, and as it turns out, one thing led to another, and it turns out that the whole picnic was forgotten. And there's where we find our forgotten snacks. So let me just show you. Shoot, I can't believe how mixed up this is getting. This is going to be interesting. Okay, let me show you some of the forgotten snacks. So here's one right here. This little lady was the first one to come across the picnic spot. And she noticed that there was nobody there. And there was a little mouse just roaming around the meadow that the blanket and basket were on, right? And the mouse said, nobody's been there in a long time. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't think it belongs to anybody. And she started snooping around a little bit, and she got very excited because she loves fruit. She just loves fruit. And they had this fresh citrus something. And she thought, well, it's not really going to hurt if I just have one, right? I'll just have one. So she took her one piece of citrus fruit and she went home to enjoy her snack. This is what we're doing for forgotten snacks. Effie, Ember, and Bronwyn are off with the fairies and got overly excited. They didn't know when they were getting back anyway, right? So, I mean, who wouldn't get so excited at a magical fairy garden and getting to choose some fairy produce of your very own? I know I would. But then, they got involved in other stuff and they completely forgot that they were even on a picnic. Because they were seeing such amazing places and things and meeting some of Remy's friends, and some of them were still butterflies, but some of them were fairies, and it was just all too amazing. So they forgot about it completely. Lucky for our little hedgehog friend here. She was terribly excited to find a piece of fruit. So what I have done is cut out all these magical animal cards that I have. that I printed, right? This is from a digital kit. The fruit and the other snacks that you'll see are from a totally different kit. And I've cut them out more than once. So each one is just cut out twice. You can do what I'm doing here. You can do multiple layers if you want to. But I've just cut out the pieces that are sitting more forward than other pieces. So like this outline that I did is kind of, you know, looking between the trees that she's behind. And then her arm is cut out because she's holding on to her piece of fruit right here. And her other arm is cut out for the same reason. You know what's crazy is you saw me kind of struggling to get the pieces over here. And they're kind of sliding apart and not in their correct piles anymore. Somewhere in what is now this giant mess of a supply pile is a hedgehog nose. Because I cut out her nose too. I wonder if this is her nose. I don't think it is. Here's a nose. But it doesn't look like her nose. No, that is not her nose. Okay. So if I ever run into her nose, I also cut out her nose. But I cut out such tiny, tedious things today. Oh my. Okay, so there is card number 1. Card number 1 is our little hedgehog lady, and she is so excited that she found a piece of citrus fruit that she can hardly stand it. So we'll set that aside, and I'll show you the next one. We know that there must be gentlemen ravens in this forest, and sure enough, there are. This guy right here came upon the basket after the hedgehog took something out because he was sitting in a tree watching. And he's like, well, what? I mean, nobody yelled at her. Nothing bad happened. It must not be a trick. Maybe I can have some too. Maybe I can have a little bit, right? I wonder what else is in there. So he goes over to check it out. This guy right here goes over to check it out. So for him, oh look, I cut out part of his hat and part of his face. I totally messed up though. There's a band part of his hat that should be cut out and I cut it off by accident. So I'm not sure how this is going to look, but I hope it turns out okay. It looks like he's wearing a mask. Okay, so what he found in there was some kind of fruit that he had never had before. And it was just these berries. And he loves berries. So he's going to grab these and try them out. Because, I mean, berries are almost always a win. So, this one right here. And this one right here. Yipes. And then this one. Whoops, that was silly. And he tucked those right in his belt. Oh my, yes, look at this. I cut out the branch of the leaves. At one point or another, it just became a challenge to see if I could. So I did. Yeesh. Silliness, I tell ya. Complete ridiculousness. So he tucked this berry that he wanted to try in his belt, and he flew away, and he thought, well, nobody seems to mind. It seems to just be abandoned. And I only took one. It's not that big a deal. I'm sure it's not going to bother anybody. So, with his treasure tucked in his belt, off he went. And took his forgotten snack and flew off. Let's see who's next. Raccoons love treats. This guy found himself a treat too. He went snooping around in there and was smelling all the things, and he was hoping for a piece of fish, but there weren't any fish in the box. So his next favorite thing is sweet things. So he snuffled around in the box till he found something delicious, and this is what he found. A little cupcake, just his size. So we're going to tuck this cupcake in his hand. There we go. And then we're going to glue this whole thing right here to the page. I don't think I cut anything else out of this one. So just this and his arm and the cupcake. That doesn't seem quite right. I might have cut out his nose too, but I don't know where his nose... I'm going to find noses all over my studio when I go to clean things up. There will be little tiny noses everywhere. Okay, he's got his cupcake in his grubby little paws. Okay, his paws aren't grubby. He's a very neat and tidy raccoon. But there is his ill-gotten gains, his pilfered cupcake. One pilfered cupcake from the bandit of the forest for the bandit of the forest, right? Yeah. Okay. I got extra glue all over this one. Okay, better. Let's let that dry. Next in the forest is, I think it's a deer. It might be a goat. It might be a goat deer. Oh dear. But the goat deer also found a cupcake. Also found a cupcake. Unlike a lot of raccoons, this particular raccoon was not totally greedy and didn't take all of the tastiness. Only took one cupcake. I mean, he has to watch his figure, you know. Okay. There we go. Cupcake with a cherry on top, and balanced it on his staff to carry home. I kind of love that. I kind of love that he did that. Okay, and this one, for the most forward part, I did his head. seem to make sense for this particular character. All right, there's that one. So this, doing layers like this, right, it adds tiny bits of depth to these pieces, because our journals can get so chunky, can't they? But this adds a very little in the way of thickness, depending on what, substrate you're using. But it really adds to the dimension of the piece. So this is a birdie who wanted to be a people, apparently, and had an accident, but was super smart. And his wings didn't really work anymore, so he put some little hands on his wings. A friend helped. I mean, he couldn't do it by himself, right? Because he didn't have any hands. But together with another sciencey friend, this bird created some hands for himself, and now he goes out adventuring with the best of them. And in this case, he was watching all the other friends. Again, watching from a distance, right? They keep an eye on each other. I don't think he actually saw the hedgehog go there. I mean, he wasn't watching that long, but he did kind of see the goat deer buddy, go over there and get something, and he was curious. I mean, he's a science guy, right? So of course he's curious. So he goes over there and he finds himself a fruit. It's a stone fruit, but he doesn't know what kind of fruit it is. But he found himself a goodie, and he's like, well, is this just free for the taking? I mean, what's the deal here? Okay, well, I guess I'll have a piece. Sure, why not? There is number 5. Card number 5. I haven't put any tea-dyed paper on the back of any of these, and they'll all be lined with tea-dyed paper when they're done. Now, the last one, at least the last one for right now, and I think this might be his arm, and that's an arm, and that is a handle for the teapot, and I think this is his nose. I think this is his nose or her nose. I'm not sure if this is a boy or a girl. And I can't ask pronouns because he or she does not like to talk to strangers. I'm still a stranger, man. Okay, so let's get busy on this one. This one's a little more complicated than the other ones. I had a little bit of trouble with this one because this little guy likes tea and cookies. And he stole a whole pot of tea and a cookie. And it was hard for me to get the teapot the right size to fit in his hand and still have his other hand make sense for a cookie. And I really just didn't want to change my plan because I really like the tea and cookies plan. So, it was more important for me to get my plan together than it was to make it easier. So I fought with this one for quite a while. I printed so many little tiny teapots. I'd show them to you if I had them like right off the bat. But I think they got buried under some extras. Okay. There we go. Here's the bottom. I did very low on the bottom, and I did then a corner section on the top. So here was one of the problems with the teapot is if the handle is out this far and his hand is right there, the teapot goes too far across his body. then it just doesn't make any sense, and then he would only have the teapot, which I mean is fine. I don't know that it should have been that big a deal to me, but it was. I really wanted him to have tea and cookies, so I ended up cutting the teapot apart. I ended up cutting his little arms apart. Poor little guy. I don't know what kind of animal this is either. Kind of looks like a meerkat sort of thing, or a, no, it doesn't look like a ground squirrel. I don't know what it might be, but this is his nose. This random nose is definitely his nose. So let's put his mouth on, just in case he ever decides to talk, because that would be fine. You can share. This is a safe zone. All right. Yeah, I'm overtired. Proof positive. I'm talking to inanimate creatures. Letting them know whatever pronouns they use is fine with me. Silly me. Okay, so then I don't want to do the cookie one till last, so I got to try to get the arm and the teapot correct. And I think I'm gonna, okay, I'll start with the teapot handle, because one thing I know that I did to fix this problem was I tucked the tea handle right in, you know, in really far to the teapot, shortening it up by a lot. So that was one thing I did. And then let's wait, see where his arm is. Where'd your arm go, buddy? There it is. Okay. Then we want to get this teapot in this hand. Yeesh. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember how I did this. I think just like this. Okay, this is ringing a bell. I tucked the collar underneath the teapot. Okay, the arm has to come up too. There we go. I tucked the collar underneath the teapot and put the arm outside the teapot and tilted it a bit. So I think that's it right there. I think that's it. And I'm gonna commit, because if I let go and start over, there's no saying that I will get it anywhere near where I want it. Okay. There we go. All right, it's all one piece now. We can get some glue on the back of this thing and get it in place. There we go. There we go. I think I can bend the cup, the spout to the teapot, I think needs to go up a little bit. Just go like that. Whoops. Okay. Okay. All right, now we're going to put this arm on. And we're going to give him a cookie. because everybody should have a cookie with their tea. Okay, ready? Let's see how this one's going to turn out. There we go. Whoops. This part of the collar's got to go under the teapot too. Can I pull it up? Sort of. I think I can repair it. But the spot of the teapot needs to come out from under there. You know what I need? I need my pliers. Not pliers, tweezers. There we go. A pliers might have been overkill. I don't know, but it seemed a little extreme. Okay, that one was definitely more of a challenge than the others. More pieces, more fussy pieces. I don't like his nose, the way I did it. But I think I'm going to leave it because it's kind of funny. Okay, so these guys are going on the ribbon page. And these are the pockets they're going in. Not edged, not cut, not necessarily even ready to go. But we'll see how far we get. Let's set them aside and see if anything's dry yet. Like this, is it dry? Actually, it is kind of fairly dry. Let's see if we need a second coat of the colors. So this is going to go right here. I don't think it needs a second coat of colors. I kind of like that it's messy like that. Here's a big shocker though. I do want to edge the page. What? No way. Edge the page? What are you talking about? This time I'm tipping way into the page. So I'm doing it so I'm getting a little bit of a hazy line, a little bit of depth to this line, but not a ton. Exactly what I want. Sometimes I will go straight on the page and it does just the cut edge, which I don't like the white cut edges. They drive me bonkers. Sometimes I will lean in like I did today to the side that I'm edging, right? So then it gets a little bit wider, just like what you see right there. Sometimes I will tip backward and then it's just doing a tiny bit on the back side, which, I mean, we could do it here too. Because I like all my pages edged. Oh, yeah. There we go. Anyway, anywho, so then this is going to go on. And then one of the doors will go on. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it as we're doing it. Let's set that aside for a sec and get this all glued up. My very favorite glue stick used to be the Scotch Create, and for some reason it has been out of stock for, I think it's 3 months now. I had it on subscription, and I think it's 3, it might even be 4 months now that it has not been in stock. I don't know what's happened to my Scotch Create glue stick, but I know other people loved it too. I don't know if you're getting it in whatever part of the world / country you are, but I would think I could get it because it's a 3M product and I live in 3M state. I feel like I should have privileged access. Okay, that's ridiculous and silly, and I know I didn't mean it, but I do live in Minnesota, so you would think that 3M products would be everywhere. Whatever the case is, it's a good glue stick, and I'm not happy that I can't have it anymore, but I have moved on to Yoo-Hoo sticks, and I know that I've seen a lot of other artists use it. I'm not used to it yet. I don't know if I love it or don't love it, but I'm trying it. Okay, there we go. Nice and flattened out there. Now, the next piece we need is our magical door that Remy popped out of and hauled away our friends through. I know it sounds like a kidnapping, but they went willingly. Nothing nefarious has happened to our friends. Nothing. They are in friendly territory. No trolls, no goblins, just Remy's nice fairy friends. So the question is, are we going to do this? Which is just gorgeous, but I don't know that it's the right thing for this. It's just a tad too big, and again, it's what I made it, so I could have made it smaller, but I'm not going to go backwards. Nope, not going to do it. The only thing I'm not really thrilled with is, I'm not thrilled that we're covering up this picture, but then it's not much of a picture anyway. I'm not thrilled that it's not going to fit and that it's either going to hang over or we're going to cut it off. But I don't know that that's the end of the world. In fact, if I cut off this side flat and kind of pull up could I pull up the ribbon? No, I glued that down pretty good. Okay, never mind. That's not a thing. Or it could be this magic door. Let's see. What if I took this one down to the grass level? I don't like either one of them. I don't know what to do. I'm not happy with my own choices for this project. I think the door has to come all the way down to the grass. I'm not in love with that concept, because then it leaves this great big empty gray spot above. I'm not thrilled with that. You know what? We're going to skip that part. We're going to open this up and start working in here instead, because I have no idea. I'm just at a loss for that. So instead of fussing where my brain just won't go, let's figure out these cards and their pockets, because I can line them with tea-dyed paper at any time. We don't need to do that tonight. But for the sake of Forgotten Snacks Day, let's try to get this page somewhat put together. One of the things I for sure want to do is some scoring on these pockets. I want the pockets fairly shallow to show off the cards, you know, so that that star of the show is going to end up being our little characters rather than anything else that might steal the stage. I don't think that I made these wide enough to score the sides. So really this is just going to end up being a pocket for the card to sit in, just to give more space, and a lip for the top so that the pocket is longer lasting. And we're going to have to cut this little piece off. There we go. And I think that right there is like just wide enough to glue down and fit a card in. Yeah, there's not a lot of space there. Although, okay, here's my question for you guys, and I'm not happy that you can't answer me. Is that, you know what, I'm going to try this. Oh my goodness, I'm living on the edge here. I'm going to try. First thing I'm going to try is, gosh darn it, in words, I swear, it just gets worse and worse every day that my brain just completely loses what it's trying to say. I'm going to first see if the card will still fit if I do a flap, and second of all, that would give me a place to glue. It shouldn't take away from my area to glue. So I don't know that this is going to turn out right, but I think it will. Wait, I'm just cutting out those little corners so that we don't end up with super bulk on the page. Not sure where that fold is. I can't see it. All right, now if we go like that and like that, and actually this one goes down first. Wait a second. Okay, this one goes down first, then the sides, the bottom comes up. Can we fit our lovely little hedgehog? Yes, we can. Look at that. All right, there's one pocket ready ish. I didn't do the line, I didn't do the outlining yet. I didn't do the edges yet. I didn't ink the edges yet. There's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So I'm going to score this all the way around this time. And I'm just going a 1/4 inch in each time. So this isn't like a big score. I'd like it if I were capable of doing the 1/8 inch scores, but that is really hard to do. 1/8 inch scoring. And the scoring isn't the hard part. The folding is. Folding is kind of a bear. Okay. So again, gonna cut out the excess because we don't want to get overly chunky. First, sides are second. Bottom comes up last. Perfect. Now we have a pocket 4. our meerkat thingy person who likes teen cookies. Teen cookies. Okay. I didn't really want to do this, but I'm going to pause because we have very little time left, and I will be back as soon as I have these all ready to go. Okay, so that took a lot longer than I thought, as does many things, right? So I'm glad I paused everything to get this done, but now I have 6 pockets, all glued together and outlined, and we're going to decide on a layout and then get them stuck down. So right off the bat, I kind of like this. I put it over here first, and I don't like it covering up all the ferns because I love ferns very much. And then logic would say then one goes the other way on this side. Words and stuff. And then maybe we're gonna stagger. So maybe a leaf is here, so a tree here, and a tree is here, so a leaf here, and going in the other directions, and then maybe there's just this little tag one there, but this one is very different. Oh, okay, wait, so a smaller tag one here where the pretty ferns are, and maybe this one more like this. Okay, now let's try it with some cards in it. My first question will be, if these are this spread out, will one even fit in here? So the answer is no. I'm going to stick way too far out of the book. So this has to be at least right here. At least right there. So then this one, if it's right here, right? Let's see what happens if we put somebody in this one. Her face is too covered. There we go. And then what happens if we put our birdie buddy in this one? Did I? Shoot. I kind of glued this one shut a little. Okay, there we go. This is not wide enough to properly accommodate my cards. I'm not happy. Once they're flattened out, it's a little better. Oh my. You know what? This project is failing in the measurement department. This stuff is all too big for what I want to do, isn't it? These cards and what have you are all too big for what I want. Okay, I am pausing again, and I'm going to fix this problem right now so that we can still put this page together. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I have done something to change the situation, so we have much more room to play with how their faces show up. I'm liking it much better now. I'm also liking that I put these 2 plain rectangular pockets in different places, and I mix things up a bit. I don't know that this is where everything's going to go and where everybody's going to go, but this is the general idea. And what I did to fix this was I took 1/4 inch off of the top or the bottom of every card. One of them I took 1/8 off of each because I liked the top and the bottom. But in any case, they are all 1/4 inch smaller shorter than they were before. And that gives me plenty of extra room to play around with how these pockets can sit. I don't know if we should make the decision. I think we're gonna. I don't have really long to do this because this video is already terribly long. Oh, I'm sure you're shocked. And guess what? It'll be another one that's not done till next time because I can't figure out for the life of me what I think I should do with the front. I don't like either of the doors that I chose, and I gave up on the picnic basket idea. Maybe I'll go back to that and make the picnic basket and get it on there. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, I guess I should leave that in there so I can measure where to put the next pocket. All right, I'm going to do the other side a little different because I thought I could do this without cheat lines, and I'm really kind of failing. So I think we're going to do that right there, and we're going to get cheat lines. The cheat lines are easier if you do it from the top down than the bottom up. So that's going to go there, and then if she goes there, this pocket can go about here. We'll get a cheat line right there. Okay, we got cheat lines. Yay! I like cheating. Well, not at everything, but I like cheat lines. So I know where stuff should go. Okay, and then this one. So we're the top two are kind of even with each other. Not even kind of, pretty much exactly even with each other. Not even pretty much. I don't even know why I'm putting qualifiers in there. They don't need qualifiers. In fact, stop qualifying, put them even, even Steven. The bottom two can also be even Steven. So I'm going to pull that in and down a little. Cheat line, cheat line. Where does this guy go then? About like that, I think. Okay, cheat line. There we go. Now we can get some pockets glued down. We can get some critters in the pockets, and we can at least see how this page is going to look. I'll go as fast as I possibly can. Except now look what I've done. I've screwed up where I want everything. I think the only ones that really matter are the little one and this one. The rest can get mixed up. Okay, so let's get some glue. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Right there. Very nice. And do we want this one or this? Oh, no, this one. Okay, so I would much rather, instead of continue what feels like these two are the same, then that's an oddball out. I'd rather have this one go with this one so it's kind of a repeat. If that made any sense at all. I'm not sure if it did. But that's what's in my head and why I did it the way I did it. Super thin on the glue. You don't want it oozing all over because it will glue your pocket shut. Have you ever glued your pockets shut? I sure have. Yep. Okay. Next, this little puppy right here. These pockets will probably get some sort of decoration. Further decoration. Oh, it looks like we got to do I want that? Yeah, I do. Okay. These pockets will probably get some further decoration down the line. I have some little snippet thingies that would be fun, little cluster thingies that kind of go with this book, and I might use some of those, or I mean, who knows what, right? But they will probably have some of those words on that I showed. Because I don't like, there's a lot of sentiments I don't like. I'm very, very picky about the sentiments that I choose for my journals. But there are some I like, and it's usually, if I'm going to put a sentiment on, it's going to be just, most often, it's just going to be a single inspirational word of some sort. Something with a positive spin and something that will spark a certain feeling. Who knows what feeling that is, like empowerment or joy or imagination maybe, right? But in any case, I think I'll pull out those clusters that I made and pull out the words that went with this particular journal set. Uh-oh, I think I glued a pocket shut. I don't know if you saw in an earlier video I did, but I talked about this ruler and what a good saw it is. Whenever I accidentally glue something shut, this ruler opens it up every time. Now I shouldn't say that because now watch it fail, but oh, this pocket is up too far. All right, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, there's another one glued shut. This ruler is so thin, and because of the decal tearing edge, right, it acts as a little saw, and it opens things up if I've accidentally glued them very nicely. There we go. All right, so I'm not sure what's going on with this one. It shouldn't be sticking out that much, actually, which means it's likely that I have Did I forget to trim this one? Let's see if I trimmed this card. I didn't. Haha! That's the problem. All right, let's do it quick. Oh gosh, we're running long again. Bottom or top? I think bottom. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off the bottom of this one. We're going to re-round the edges. Re-edge the edges because I'm running out of words. You know what I mean. And there we go. Oh, much better. So there is my pocket full of Forgotten Snack Thieves. My page full of Forgotten Snack Thieves. And there is my picture of the forest, and let's see if I can decide yet. A fairy door or a fairy tree or a picnic basket. None of the above I like. Art is going to go on the front of that. And then it goes in the book. All right. See you next time. Thanks for hanging out so long. Sorry this was an extra long one. But there we go. There's today's project. All the forgotten snacks have been taken to new homes. And these guys are really happy that those snacks got forgotten in the forest. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.